Well, thank you so much, Lisa, for joining us today. Welcome to the MICPA office. It's great to have this conversation in person, and want to thank you also for being on our board of directors and for your longtime membership and giving back to the profession. So first of all, I'd like to ask you. So tell me about your journey in diversity, equity, and inclusion. Like what both in your professional life as well as your personal life.
Well, thank you for having me here. It's a real privilege. And I think my journey started probably back from when I was a child. The values that were instilled in me. My father was a minister. He then left the ministry and went to work for the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. So diversity and helping people have kind of been just who I've been throughout my life. And I think it really developed as I got into college. And I was introduced to the National Association of Black Accountants, NABA. And their motto is lifting as we climb. And boy, it just really hit me. I was like, yes, this is me. This is what I want to do. And so I think pretty much after that, any opportunity that came my way, I said yes to. I do a lot with diversity groups, both at work and in my personal life. I am this year a member of our DEI council at Daimler, which is, there's just a group of 10 of us. So I was very privileged to be able to be on that. Like I said, I think it's just who I've always been. I don't know that there was a switch or a point in time when I thought, well, I should really get into it. It's just this natural progression for me.
Tell me more about what you're doing at Daimler, like what your group is, like some of the activities you're working on.
One of them is called Ignite, and that's for the African American members of Daimler, as well as WIN, which is for our women's network. And so we do a lot of, our focus there is usually around education.
Okay.
So we do a lot of events. We do focus on like Black History Month and Women's History Month and things like that. And then we've got our overall DEI Council, which I mentioned earlier, and that kind of drives where we go with the organization as it relates to our DEI initiatives. So everything's kind of decided at that council and then pushed down, or the BRGs will present to us what they want to do, and then we'll sign off on it and move forward.
So speaking of volunteering and stepping up and giving back to the profession, you have been very involved with the MICPA, not only on our board of directors, but also now chair of the MICPA Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Task Force. And I know the task force, so especially over the last several months, has been working hard to kind of develop some meaningful goals and really develop a strategy for our organization, how we can move the needle when it comes to the CPA profession in this great state of Michigan moving forward. So kind of tell me more about that and what the task force is up to.
Yeah, absolutely. Paul Bryant has done a wonderful job over the last year to kind of get us on track and get us some initiatives. And so we've had some great meetings where the whole team has gotten together to kind of like to decide what these initiatives are. We're coming up with this council where we're going to be partnering with our partners, basically, where we can sit and talk about best practices and things like that. So we're not all trying to, in our own silos, work through these same issues. We can all get together and share that knowledge. The other big area that we're focusing on is going to be the pipeline. We really think that the high school students, getting them through college and into the profession is really an area that we need to focus on.
Certainly high schools are very important to get, especially at that level, for them to understand what it means to be an accountant, what it means to be a CPA. So, and MICPA has done a lot of things like that in the past. Our high school leaders program, through COVID, we launched our Student Accounting Academy, which is now virtual, to try to even reach more high school students. So how does that, like, what can we do even a better job of it trying to reach those high schoolers?
Yeah, again, I think just getting out and talking to them, and letting them see what it is that we do and that we really do enjoy what we do. And I think a selling point is just, it doesn't matter what's happening in the economy. I'm always going to have a job. Whether there's companies making a lot of money or the company is not making any money, they still need an accountant in there to do the books. So I think it's just such a very safe profession to be in, and it's exciting. To your point, there are already programs that are out there, so we're going to partner with those programs as well too. And a big one is the NABA's ACAP, which is the Accounting Career Awareness Program, where they reach a small amount of high school students, and it's actually like a 3 or 4 day program where the students go to a college and stay overnight, and then we're brought in a bunch of different public accounting, industry, those types of things, what it really means to be an accountant. So we're going to try to partner with them.
How can members of the MICPA who may not, they're not on the task force or they want to understand DEI more and how it can impact their business, what can they do to support our initiatives, or how can they learn more?
Absolutely. One of the initiatives that we're having this year is we've got a DEI group page on the Connect where we'll be posting out there. So definitely you can join that page, participate. You can lurk if you want to, but actively participate as well too. As I discussed earlier, the pipeline is the focus. So if you want to come and speak to your alma mater or local school, you don't need to be a member of the task force to do that. We would love to have you do that.
I'm really excited on this DEI journey that MICPA is on, and it's certainly going to continue as we try to move the needle on this profession to introduce it to more and more students, and it's going to be a better profession for all of us in the state.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you again for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.